Hello everybody, here is a quick video. I've just received this. This is kind of like an unboxing video. I've just received this little Dwarf amp from America. Now these were made in the 1970s, I think, and not millions were made compared, like it's a bit like a pig nose really. This is a battery amp. But the thing is with this amp is these were handmade cabinets. And look, there's a dovetail joint. Now, isn't that absolutely remarkable? There's a dovetail, and it's oak. Look, it's lovely American oak. So that's quite incredible, I think. So for nostalgia buffs like myself, this is a wonderful thing. So it has both a mains cable, and it has the ability to run on batteries. Let me just show you. Basically it will run on C. I think they're C probably. So that's 8 of those big C batteries, which would last a lot longer than the batteries on a pig nose, which are AA batteries. That uses 8 AA batteries. So this is rather interesting, I think. So I'm going to have a little play of it. It's just a simple little battery amp, that's all. So why did I buy it? I bought it because I wanted to treat myself, and this is nostalgia really, in a way. I was a very big fan of Wishbone Ash, especially I loved the early stuff like Argus and what was the first one called with Vardy on it? Anyway, Pilgrimage. I love the early albums, but it really took off when Laurie Wisefield joined, and There's the Rub onwards are my favourite periods. The playing from everybody is fantastic, and also the songs and lyrics from Martin Turner are really superb, and from Laurie actually are superb. So There's the Rub was a fantastic album, as was No Smoke Without Fire, Front Page News, Just Testing. Quite liked Number the Brave, and Locked In. I like Laurie's songs on Locked In, and he does play very well, but apart from that, I mean, he's the best thing on that album, and which, it's a shame that it's a bit dreary. It's a dreary album, but I can hear that Laurie was doing his best with started in heaven, finished with rock and roll. So anyway, so I'm going to actually just plug it in, if I can, and play it a little bit. Maybe I'll do that later. Maybe I'll put my pedal board through it even. So anyway, this is the amp that Martin Turner used on his bass for about 10 albums after and including There's the Rub. And There's the Rub by Wishbone Ash is a phenomenal album. It's beautiful, it's kind of blinding in its execution. The way they've played is fantastic, the sound is great, and those amazing themes that Martin Turner created, like Lady J and Silver Shoes, these, and Persephone. I think Martin was behind most of those ideas. Very poetic. Okay, I'll stop talking now, but this is the Dwarf. I can't believe I've managed to find one. How wonderful. And I heard about this through Martin's book, which I found very interesting. I read both Andy, oh gosh, my brain has gone these days. Andy Powell's book and Martin's book. So yeah, and Martin was such an important part of Wishbone Ash, and they misjudged what they had. I think they needed to sell more records, and they wanted to get Sheena Easton in to do the singing or something, and they lost all that kind of mythological, poetic element and brilliant bass playing. Although they did get John Wetton, and he was fantastic, and I think I read that he left Wishbone Ash partly because he thought he would be doing more writing. And he was a brilliant writer, John Wetton. He wrote amazing things, brilliant vocalist, brilliant. I loved him in UK, and he was superb in King Crimson as well. Anyway, there we go. Isn't that cute? I can't get over this cabinet with its dovetail joints and trying to make a dovetail joint, yeah. And oak, probably local American oak. Super duper.